So I created this beast of a bass with a secret, not-so-secret component installed under the bridge. Now why go through all the trouble of installing this in an already curious mod? Well, just like how piezos are often found in acoustic guitars to amplify the vibrations of strings that might otherwise go undetected by magnetic pickups, why not try out a handful of other non-ferromagnetic makeshift string ideas? I've got quite a collection of ideas, and fishing for any good notes between a bass/guitar's register on a bass/guitar hybrid, let's see if this will even work. This is Kevin from Said Too Much. Setting this first round up, I separated some bass string ball ends from old strings and tied each of the makeshift strings to them, or hooking in the case of the chain. This worked pretty well to secure them to the top-loading bridge end, just like it does with normal strings. At the machine heads, I easily just ran the strings through the slit and tied them around the pole. In the case of the chain, the friction from just a single link through that slit held it up well enough. Not really sure what my game plan would have been otherwise. I had an issue with the floss, where it broke on me at a very low tension almost immediately. So I ended up painstakingly braiding 3 strands together in hopes it will hold up a lot better. I'm not going to try to tune this up until it's plugged in and on camera. Pretty similar to the first time around, the yarn and ribbon easily tied into a ball end and fit into the slit on the machine heads. But because the rope was so thick, I simply tied a knot at the bridge end and used a paper clip between the machine head slit to tie the rope to. Nothing broke, it's holding up and ready to go. So what do y'all think? Quick confession, everything coming out of that piezo was pretty quiet. I had to throw some ridiculous gain staging on everything, which is why a lot of the bumps and scratches came through. Pretty sure I know why, and should have thought about it more when I was designing this. An acoustic guitar isn't full string through, but it does create a very sharp angle on the bridge saddle, anchoring down to at least the very top layer of wood almost immediately after it. This solidly forces all vibrations onto the piezo. Now, compared to the angles we have on the Strat bass. Whenever I've plugged an acoustic guitar through a rig, it was always well loud enough if we can just solve this little issue. I'm not really sure how I would get something like that chain totally through a string through a bridge though. Now, whatever your opinion on how useful the piezo pickup was, I'm still pretty confident we can benefit from combinations of both kinds of pickups. In theory, you could do like a 12-string kind of setup with the chorus strings being a non-ferromagnetic material. Essentially, you could mute those strings just by switching from the piezo to the magnetic. Of course, go ahead and let me know any other ideas we can try. I'm sure I probably missed a couple of obvious ideas. So be sure to check the description if there already are some updates by the time you're seeing this, but for now, enough said. For early video access, raw instrument tracks, and more exclusives, find our community on Patreon and consider adding your support.
Said so much.